Welcome everybody, Red Arrow 23 here, time for another Angry G Vibe highlights episode. This is episode 25. Team's doing really well, let's boom some beaches! Alright guys, let's get into the hits. So first up we've got Joppa, and he's going to show us some Fang action. Let's see what he's got to show off. Semi-standard looking Fang. There's an extra rocket launcher and doom cannon on the right. Not so many cannons around. The sniper's pretty standard. That mortar is a little bit non-standard, but it's okay. So he's cleared some mines on the left-hand side, and he's clearing some mines on the right. He's tagged these two rocket launchers, so let's see what he's going to do with that. Looks like he's clearing those mines for maybe some grenadier action. And we've launched Sparky and universal remoted the mortar, which is pretty clever. So she's walked straight up and she can just universal remote before it has a chance to fire. I like it. And then we're flaring up. She's taking a lot of mines, but it's all working out very nicely. We have used a med kit just because she might take a little bit of flak. And then I believe what he's going to try and do is double spam. So Neil told him, the Angry Indian told him that he can hit universal remote, and then in the same delay he'll be able to push universal remote again, and it will take the next rocket launcher straight away. You won't have to resmoke, because usually we resmoke, then activate the next universal remote, and then as you come out it'll take effect again. So here we go. Joppa's just spamming that button, and the flamethrower roasted him, as well as I think the doom cannon popped him off. So that's really unfortunate. That rocket launcher is now still in play, and because usually we want to take those out and then we want to bring some grenadiers in, and they'll be out of range of the rocket launchers because it's only these ones in play and these ones. So we can sort of sit here once we've taken the sniper tower out and just smash the shields. So Joppa's doing a little bit of thinking, seeing what he can do. He was going to use some Zukas for the sniper tower, but now he has to use them to take out this rocket launcher. So it's good thinking. Here we go. Let's flare on up. I like it. And it's it is the tag defense, but he's going to flare it anyway just to be sure. And then we've gone with a critter shock, and it's not gone well. Oh, Joppa, what is going on? So the rocket launcher on the right obviously tagged him up because there was no delay on it. I think he's trying to save his GB a little bit to do some other stuff, but now he's seriously going to have to think what he's going to do. So here he goes, just going to grenadier these cannons because he knows he can outrange them, and he's got them loaded and on the boat, so he may as well collect a bit of GBE. I'm not sure if he lost the GBE for the third universal remote that didn't work. He's going to try and take out this sniper tower. I like it. And he gets some artillery on there just before the end. He didn't bother trying to bart out the rocket launcher, which I like, because someone's just going to need to go and get it. That's fine. I believe the next player did, and we got back on track, which is all good. Alright, so let's check out Flight. He's going to be doing a core rush on Maze with Brick. So let's see how Flight's going to do. We haven't had any core rushes yet. All the shields have been cleared. So let's just see what he's going to do. Flare land on the left hand side, flaring up. This is a great thing about Maze, whether you can take it down or not, there's a whole bunch of force points and free GBE on the left hand side. So we can definitely use that in this core rush. The Maze core rush is usually pretty nasty with a bunch of shocks around. So let's check it out. I believe in the note it just said something like 5 shocks, beware of the laser at 12 o'clock, because this is cheeky one just above the core. So let's slow it down. Here's that cheeky one just above the core, sometimes hard to see. So he's going to get the medkit down, flare nice and close to the core, so he's not going to spread back into the barbed wire in theory. And then we can flare onto the core. There's a lot of shocks here, so let's slow it down. So you've got the lasers on either side, including the rocket launchers, the machine gun right next to him, the lasers over the road, the shock launchers and the rocket launchers on the right hand side, and he didn't shock the laser right next to him, which was in the note. It was specifically noted that there was the laser beam there, so he probably could have finished if he managed to shock that, even if he needed to take a few more cells to get the extra shock. But it just absolutely roasted you. The angry Chihuahua is roasted. So hard luck, it's all good. Next player, Mac, was able to take it down, and that was 24 attacks for that one. So let's jump over to the next op. We've got Angry Ryan with a Conifold solo. Let's have a look at that. He is bringing Brick on a long walk to Conifold, so let's see how he manages that. Short Blaster is sort of just on the beach, as with the machine guns. Standard mine clearing right there. He is going to clear the boom mine. I think that's mainly to keep Brick alive. He's not worried if a stray Zuka manages to jump on that. But there we go. The Short Blaster has turned, but it's fine. Not going to hit anything. And then, see this flare point? You might want to lock that one away for the future. Obviously smoked a little bit too far right, but that flare point is going to be great. Usually we flare right up on the wall above this boom cannon. But because we've got Brick, she does like to run a little bit ahead of everybody else. So then at that point, we can let Brick stop as soon as the Zukas are on. That flare was probably a little bit late, but it worked out really well. The Zukas didn't spread out of the smoke or anything. And then we flared on up, didn't peek out of the back out of the expiring smoke, which is great. And then he's got the double smoke on the crack and the other smoke just to keep that in line. Did peek a little bit, but that is fine. And now we've got enough time on the smokes that we can flare the core and get our shocks out. There we go. Start hammering the core with battle orders. Brick does go down to a boom cannon because she likes to go for a bit of a walkies on her own. So don't know how effective the battle orders were, but boom! Down goes the core with the double medkit. Nice work, Ryan. Still got a few Zukas left, I like it. And the random swipe away. So there we go, nice work, Ryan. We've actually got back-to-back Ryan right now. So we're going to be having Optimus, his other account, on Redline. So we managed to use... we managed to clear all the front rocket launchers, and then we used rifle greens for the boom cannons and shields. And now it's Optimus's time to shine with a core rush. We're going to be heading up the left hand side. Mines are clear, so let's get it going. Using a nice flare land so he's nice and grouped, and then he can flare up to a gather point. Doesn't want to be skimming this barbed wire as he comes off the flag land or anything. Brick's trailing, and we don't want her to get picked off by a sniper tower early. That would not be ideal. Flaring up onto the wall. Looks like the Zukas want to go nice and wide right, making the hot pot pop up and probably scare his living daylights out of him. I would be I'd be puckering a little bit. So here we go. He gets onto that corner. Nice little mid flare. Found that this is the best way to sort of group them on their way up. If you flare too high too early, it can be quite bad. So here we go. We've got the smoke and the double smoke. Did lose the delay on the left hand half of rocket launchers, but that is all good. Right rocket launchers are all delay kept. Managed to, so we lost it a little bit there. Lost a couple of Zukas. Get the critters down, and then the two shocks. And look at the damage that's going in with Brick. Just owning the core. There is, what's that, 16. Look at that damage, it's still coming, even though he's only got critters protecting him from all of these rocket launchers on the right. There was 16, 8, 1.8, just over, what is that, 1.9 mil on the core. There was 1.9 mil on the core, pretty much all still there. We'd only got a little bit knocked off by the defenses we pulled down. So he probably did about 1.7 mil, I'd say, on a pretty hefty Redline, or there's a lot of rockets there anyway, and he's only protecting himself from critters. So I liked it a lot. Next up we've got Movingday. He's using T2 and Chaka. So let's have a look. We've already taken care of the right shield generators. The left shield generators, apart from one, I think is maybe audible. just going to be using Zukas to head up for the rear shields, and we are also bringing brick. Collected a few cells because we need them for the shocks up there. There's quite a few shocks, and then we're going to flare up. We can flare this short because that's around about where the flare would normally expire, and we're going to use that as our gather point for brick. Now check this out. Where are you going, brick? Who said that you could just go for a walk? Lost a whole bunch of Zukas because of the gap in the smoke, but brick just went wild. I don't know, she just went rogue, went AWOL, absent without leave. So here we go, we're going to flare onto the shield. We still should have a reasonably good chance at getting some decent damage, even if we can't take them all out. With brick, we obviously would have been able to do it a lot quicker. We probably could have one-shot everything with all of our Zukas, but that's all good. T2 is getting those. Look at the flare timing. If he had all the Zukas, they would have all been down. So great hit from Movingday, and then he's using the rest of his GBE on that left shield. And pop goes the weasel. Shield is down. One more artillery, and there we go. Maybe didn't need to take as many cells at the beach as he did, but that's all good. Need to get that damage. So here we go. We got Chaka, so he kind of got a little bit of revenge. Had to load his troops, so it wasn't instant, but here we go. This is going to make it very interesting. So he's barding out these shields, which is going to cost him a lot of GBE. And then he's going to try and do a core rush, getting that nice artillery right in the middle. Did a bit of calculation, knew that he was erring on the side of optimism. So managed to throw those last few artilleries a little bit slow, and boom, down goes the shields. And now he just needs to do a core rush. So I think he's doing a little bit of math right now. Let's fast forward through that. So now he's got to get up there and throw any amount of critter and shocks that's going to protect him for a little bit to do some sort of damage on the core. So here we go, moving on up. We've got a level 21 mine, but it's okay, we can clip that ideally, like if we need to. And we're just going to move up. Love it. Hasn't lost the delay because he hasn't thrown any critters or troops up near these defenses, so he's got maximum delay. And here we go, popped one mine, perfect. We still got damage from that. We can throw, now he's going for a critter shock, or just a shock, 1, 2, 3, 4 shocks and 1 critter, and that's going to distract the rocket launcher from firing on us and the mortar. He's relayed some more critters, and look at the damage he's putting on. I love it. So great work from the boss. He is our fearless leader. There was a little bit of a lower health, so it was 1.1, 1.3 mil on the core, and we took out a few defenses before that. But with using all that GBE to take out the shields up top first was great work, and still managed to pull off a core rush that could take it down. I like it. And next, last one. Look at this. We're running Forlorn Hope. Since when are we running Forlorn Hope? I love it. Everybody's been sharing the tactics, doing really well. And so we kind of got the green light to do some Forlorn Hope action. And the intel's just rolling in, so it's going to help us keep control of our intel. So let's check out EDawg. He's got the open on hardcore. These pesky rocket launchers on the inside are going to be a bit of a problem. I would have actually preferred it if so see how he launched his boat on the left? There was actually really good planning. For when his boats come in later, I'm pretty sure. I would have preferred it if he flared onto the furthest rocket launcher first, because then he wouldn't have needed a flare later on. Managed to get through the barbed wire and pop a couple mines. See, she stops. Universal remote on the first rocket launcher. Let's fast forward this bit, and then smokes after that. And then we can universal remote. He had to use an extra flare to get there, and that rocket launcher goes down as well. Here we go, you're going to use a flare landing on the right hand side. Definitely left enough room for his boats. Didn't want his hero boat to get in the way. Gets a nice flare up. How he didn't die in that gap, I do not know. And we're going to smash that rocket launcher. I'm not sure if he was planning on flashing it or not, but once he lost the delay, he knew he couldn't. Got the critters in there just to distract the single shots, and then we're going to move. Look at that agility, just around the barbed wire, not too far. And then we're just going to collect a bit of GBE. Might be throwing some BARD on the rocket launcher just above the core. the rocket launcher on the other side above the core. And we're just going to be carrying on clearing. And usually I would kind of consider this as to be the hit. And look at him. I want to get the machine gun as well, I think. I'm just going to clear the world. It says Mac. Oh, it says EDawg. I'm not sure if this was EDawg or Mac. Now that EDawg is back. And look at this. Flares onto the mortar. Still got the shock active. The flame, the rocket launcher is only coming in range of the grappled Zuka. And look at that. Look at how much extra he cleared. That probably wasn't even part of his noted hit, but that's all good. That's the last hit for today. A little bit of a longer video because we've had so many great hits to show you. So yeah, comment down below which attack was your favorite and why. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe for more Boom Booch. Yeah.